All right. Um, let's go ahead and get started here. And I am going to share a homework problem, 0.38 part A. And this is some unit conversions. So let's take a look. We're wanting to convert picometers to centimeters and then later to nanometers. So I have 5 picometers. We always start by writing a relationship. What do we know about picometers and centimeters? Absolutely nothing. We haven't memorized anything. But we do know a picometer is 10 to the negative 12th meters. We also know that a centimeter is 10 to the negative 2nd meters. And just because we'll need it later, let's go ahead and write a nanometer is 10 to the negative 9th meters. So we have picometers. We don't want them. So we're going to place them where they cancel out. So I'll place picometers on the bottom. The prefix is always replaced by a power of 10. So we've canceled out picometers. We have meters. We're wanting centimeters. So I need to get rid of my meters. So I'm going to place them on the bottom so they cancel out. I want centimeters. So I'm going to place them on top. So I have, now I have units of centimeters. So I'm done with this part right here. So I'm going to multiply everything on top and divide through by everything on the bottom. So 5 times 10 to the negative 12. Let me change colors here. 5 times 10 to the negative 12 would be, 5 times 10 to the negative 12. Then I'm dividing by 10 to the negative 2nd. And remember, 10 to the x divided by 10 to the y is 10 to the x minus y power. So down here, I would have 10 to the negative 12 divided by 10 to the negative 2nd. So I'd have negative 12 minus a negative 2. Minus a negative 2 is the same thing as adding a 2. So we wind up with 5 times 10 to the negative 10 power centimeters. To convert to nanometers, we basically repeat the process over again. 5 picometers. I don't want the picometers, so I'm going to place them where they cancel out. And the only thing I ever knew how to do with them is to go to meters. I now have meters. I don't want them, so I'm going to place them where they cancel out. I want nanometers. So I place my meters where they cancel out. I want nanometers, and nanometers is 10 to the negative 9th. So I'm going to multiply everything on top, divide through by everything on the bottom. 5 times 10 to the negative 12th is to the negative 12th. So then I have a negative 12 minus a negative 9, because I'm dividing by that 10 to the negative 9th power. Minusing a negative is adding. So that gives me a negative 3. So I have 5 times 10 to the negative 3rd nanometers. This person also wants part B looked at. So let's take a look at part B as well. Part B. Is the same thing we just solved for really there. 5 picometers equals how many nanometers. Let's take a look at this one real quickly. They want 6.1 cubic centimeters into cubic millimeters. That one would behoove us to work it. So we've got 6 cubic centimeters, and they want to know how many cubic millimeters that is. Remember, when we're dealing with cubic relationships, those prefixes break down. We have to establish new relationships. The way we do that is to write our linear relationship that we know. In this case, centimeter is 10 to the negative 2nd meters. A millimeter is 10 to the negative 3rd meters. To get the cubic relationship, we're going to cube each of those. cube. Algebra moment of the day. Remember, 10 to the x power raised to the y power is 10 to the x times y power. So -2 times 3 is -6. So a cubic centimeter is 10 to the -6 cubic meters. And -3 times 3 is -9. So a cubic millimeter is 10 to the -9 cubic meters. So now we can come back to our train here. We've got 6 cubic centimeters. We want to get rid of cubic centimeters. All we know how to do is go to cubic meters. We don't want cubic meters, so I'm going to place cubic meters where they disappear. We want cubic millimeters, so I place my -9 down there. Hey, I've got cubic millimeters. That's the unit I'm looking for, so I'm going to multiply everything on top, divide by everything on the bottom. When I do that, I get 6 times 10 to the -6 here. Then I'm dividing by a -9, so -6 minus a -9 is the same thing as adding. So I get a +3. So I get 6 times 10 to the 3rd cubic millimeters. And that's that.